Marksmen have always been underrated in Call of Dragons. At first they was only used in the Behemoths, but season after season they prove that they're very good in the open field. Are you still sleeping on them? Let's break down why Marksmen is actually better from what you're thinking. But before we dive in, make sure you hit one like and subscribe to this channel for more Call of Dragon guides. And let me know in the comments, do you think Marksmen are overrated or underrated? But to understand everything, we have to just go back in the early days in Call of Dragons, where the Marksmen was just used for the Behemoths. There was nothing else they was doing. If you go for the Behemoth, even the rank 5 was expecting from you to come with the Marksmen. And the main issue with those Marksmen was they just didn't have the range. Now you have infantry, cavalry, melee range. Obviously they're going to fight close to the target, and you have mages, which is very far away and extremely hard to be catched. Actually these days not that hard with the cavalry boost, but in general Marksmen was in the middle, and sometimes people say the golden middle, but this middle was not actually valuable to attack mages since they was very far away. And if you get close to the cavalry or infantry, there was a huge trouble for Marksmen. So people start actually ignoring these heroes and go only for mages, and that was the turning point where I also become mage main, just because mages have this huge advantage of very far away hitting, rage skill, AoE damage. Marksmen was a single target, and even in Generation 2, when Sindrian and Fragar was presented, it was still not enough, even though that these two heroes was doing crazy amount of damage on the Behemoths, but it was extremely hard to catch something in the open field. Until one day Call of Dragons decide to present something that actually take out the value of the mages. And that was Range Warfare. Range Warfare actually what is doing, yeah, I think most of the people are familiar with that, but actually give the Marksmen the opportunity to hit from very far away. And having this in mind, that Marksmen was having biggest damage in Call of Dragons, the developers, I think, the main reason they reduce the damage of the Marksmen is that because Marksmen was going to be killing everything on the battlefield. So at the beginning was minus 15% from the base attributes of the Marksmen, and after this they actually make it 20%, because even with 15% the Marksmen was still doing crazy amount of damage. And even with 20% they still do crazy amount of damage. But that was a shift. That was a shift in the whole Call of Dragon gameplay and established troops and which troop for what is going to be. And suddenly all the players playing Call of Dragons actually understand that Marksmen is not actually only for Behemoths. And we start seeing this shift from mage mains to Marksmen. And I remember I speak with a couple people back in the days, because, you know, for the first time was presented Range Warfare, and that was the moment, I think, around where the mid-spenders or close to mid-spenders start opening their tier 5s. And I know a lot of friends who was playing mages, but they shift to Marksmen, and the first troop they opened was actually a Marksman. So at this point I was like, should I actually go also for the Marksman? And Nico Kinara or Kinara Nico combo was extremely popular with Range Warfare. Still at this point we was not having Margaret Zeta, but the rage skill damage this Marksman was doing was absolutely crazy. Way more from what the mages was able to do. And on top of that, the normal attacks was also crazy. I mean, they was hitting way bigger damage. Also, if you hit a Marksman, you get counterattack way bigger from the mages. So in total, Marksmen was the meta back in the days. With Range Warfare, Marksmen was the meta. But still, deep in the heart of the players was, is this thing going to be forever? Is the game going to keep Range Warfare? Of course, they presented, I think, one season before the Generation 3 or Generation 3 Marksmen to come. And I was thinking maybe this is going to be for one season, so people get hyped for Marksmen and actually start, you know, going for the Marksmen, and they present the new Marksmen, and people, you know, just to go for the new heroes, which was Margaret Zeta, one of the best heroes right now in Call of Dragons, even that they're Generation 3. So there was this thing in the minds of the people. Is this going to be for one season? Is this thing going to be for a couple seasons? Nobody was knowing. But with the time, Wonk Range Warfare was getting more and more involved in the seasons. I don't remember which season there was Wonk Range Warfare, which was not having. Right now in this season, we don't have Wonk Range Warfare. And as a mage main, I'm so happy about this. But people start used to know that Wonk Range Warfare is going to be there. And at some point, Wonk Range Warfare was actually taken out, and people was have to adapt about not having Wonk Range Warfare. And that was, I like to say, to call it evolutional pressure. I mean, you have something and you have pressure from somewhere, and you find a way how to overcome the problem that is coming to you. And since a lot of people actually go Marksman main, they start thinking, okay, we don't have Wonk Range Warfare, what we're going to do? And the best solution they come so far, and the adoption was the boost of the infantry, or I like to say it, the rise of the infantry. Gorosh and Skogo was present in the game. At the beginning, they was not that popular, and only Wells that actually by every existing hero in the game was actually using them. Slowly, the players start seeing how important and how valuable was the infantry on the battlefield, and the buff that they receive, this iron shot that is reducing by 40% up to 40% the range damage, start making even the leadership asking from the players to, you know, bring some infantry on the battlefield. It's not like, okay, we understand your mage main, we understand your marksman main, but put the infantry on the battlefield, okay? So that was the great opportunity for the marksman mains to continue to be a marksman main and not having that big issue. Of course, it's a huge issue with no Wonk Range Warfare, but I think going for infantry, that is, you're going to see them a lot on the battlefield, is the way to go with the marksman right now if you want to get some merits on the battlefield. You just sit behind, you know, you just sit behind, you see enemy infantry, you jump on them. With the latest updates, also cavalry get boosted. Boy oh boy, only mages don't get anything for now. And people right now are start looking for the cavalry guides. That's why I actually make 3 videos about everything you need to know about the cavalry on my channel. You can go and check them out after this video. But people also switch to the cavalry. And the biggest disadvantage of the cavalry and infantry was that they are melee, and this is great opportunity for even medium range marksmen to actually get advantage over this boosting, over the boosting of these 2 troops. And from there actually start one evolution of the marksman, something that back in the days at the beginning people was not even think about. Since actually nobody was using infantry, people was using infantry for building, for destroying barricades and stuff like this. So infantry was something that you send there, it go to the hospital, and you forget you have it till the war finish, and after this you can heal them, you know, or for gathering purpose. So people start getting creative and actually thinking about different strategy to handle different situation with marksmen. And since right now infantry is something like must have on the battlefield, let's be honest, even my alliance asked me, yo bruh, 100k infantry, you have to train them. And currently I'm keeping my infantry tier 4 just because it's way more easy to be healed. Difference is like, yeah, there's a big difference in the stats, but in general my whole tech is tier 5, so I get the best value from my tier 4. But yeah, everybody is asking for infantry on the battlefield, and I think this is maybe the saving of the marksman main. I think this actually saved marksman main from, you know, have some bad experience in the game. Because if you're a marksman and you see the both mages and you get close, well, most likely a lot of mages is going to target you and you're going to disappear. Even though that marksmen are doing decent counter-attack, yo, Kinara Hosk, I don't know, but this is absolutely, this is a combo that you just put, it's like a bomb. You put there and people hit it, you don't care that people are hit it, they're getting some crazy counter-attack, and yeah, you get some decent merits. But in general, I think this is what actually saved the marksmen and actually start building new strategy for the marksmen. And the choke points, this is the other thing I want to talk about, is the choke points. for example, this choke point. And as a marksman, you can also get great benefits in the choke point, because nobody actually wants to sit in the choke point. So most of the times people just run to the choke point so they can, you know, somehow spread a little or do some banana formation. And you can sit with your marksman in this banana formation and get pretty decent trades. Now, choke points and infantry, these two things actually fill the pockets of the marksman mains with merits. It's just the perfect positioning. And even though that the marksman is not counter-attacking counter infantry, they still get the best benefits from the infantry. So this is the way how the players actually start mastering marksmen, in my opinion. It's just they saw the opportunity that people are using more and more infantry. The cavalry also, back in the days, only like maybe 10%, 10% from the people was main cavalry. We start seeing more and more people become main cavalry. Even though cavalry is actually countering marksmen, it's extremely hard for them to catch them out of guard when they're in the bow, but when they go for reinforcement to the castle and going back to the battlefield, this is the place where the marksman is actually become very weak and can be charged by like 5 cavalry and get destroyed very fast. But still, you see more and more players start playing with the melee. I'm going to say it again, melee troops that is giving the marksman advantage there, and the top marksman players and the pro marksman players actually adapt for this, and they're farming, bruh. They're farming the battlefield like crazy. The marksman is just good positioning. For mages, you can get away with bad positioning from time to time, but for marksman, the good positioning is the key to succeed, and players understand that, and they improve every day. So you can find a lot of marksman strategy, a lot of players that can give you some tips and tricks, but still, I think that the focus over the melee troops actually give some good advantage of marksmen on the battlefield. And the funny part of this is marksmen is still the best troop for the Behemoth. They're still the best one that is doing the biggest damage there. Now, not like the season 1 and I think season 4. Right now we have generation 4 where it's Falgrim with Sibyl. These two marksmen is not actually for Behemoth. I'm going to be honest with you, it's not for Behemoth. They have rage skill, which rage skill do pretty decent amount of damage, but in my opinion the best for the Behemoth is actually the marksman combos that was boosting the normal attack damage of the marksman. And keeping in mind that the marksmen have the biggest damage in Call of Dragon, every percentage, every second attack, every critical rate is something that is going to hit like a truck the Behemoth. Also, Behemoths cannot actually get any kind of debuffs on them, so this also take some of the like I don't remember which one, like Nico defense break, Kinara attack reduction. All these things is not going to be available against Behemoths, but Sindrian Frygar, Margaret Zeta, this is still till this day I think the best combos for the Behemoths, and you're going to get the best value from these heroes, and you're going to be on the top places. And being on the top places, first of all, you're going to be valuable for your alliance, and second, there is a chance to get some rewards. I think the first 6th place or 5th place get some rewards from the Behemoth, but in general, marksman is still holding the position of the best troop against Behemoth, even after 2 years. On the open field, things can shift. Today's mages, tomorrow is infantry, the next day is a cavalry, marksmen, but for Behemoths, till these days, marksman is still the best troop for there. So from there comes the question, should you invest in marksmen? Well, my personal opinion, I think they're very good. Some people say that they're expensive, but all the heroes are expensive. And the comparison that marksmen are expensive is Lilia, just because Lilia is from your VIP bundle and you can get her, I mean from the VIP, the Lilia is the most cheapest hero in Call of Dragons. You basically just level up your VIP and you buy the bundles. The bundles cost a specific amount of money, but inside you're going to have guaranteed Lilia tokens, and basically I think for $200 or something, I don't remember for how much, but you can actually make this hero awaken it. And boy, Awakening is adding one extra religion. So this is the comparison from the people that your mages is way more cheap for the marksmen. But in general, rest of the heroes, if you see it, Hosk is very good for marksman. It's a very even I think he's built for marksmen. So you can get as an example Hosk. He's also still you also can buy Hosk from the VIP. But in general, I think all the heroes require investment. So if you're somebody like me, I'm investing in mages over 1 year. So it's going to be extremely hard for me to actually switch to the marksman. And I also want to switch to the cavalry, even though, but still, this thing actually requires a lot of investment that I cannot actually make. But if you're at the beginning, maybe you can see the. I'm planning to make a couple of videos on my channel about comparison between the different troops. Of course, some heroes, new heroes can be present in the game. It can be game changer, but I think marksmen deserve your attention. But still, as a mage main, I think mages are one idea better because they don't depend on the seasonal stuffs. But I have to mention that I always have one combo for the Behemoth. Syndrian 6-star Awakened. And where is my Frygar? It's like 4-star Awakened. Till this day, marksmen is for the Behemoths. They're just best there, okay? If you enjoyed the breakdown, make sure you hit one like and subscribe for the channel for more Call of Dragons content. And let me know in the comments, do you think marksmen deserve more respect or they're just a niche troop? Heroes are something good, but you're also going to need power. So if you want to see some tricks and tips and tricks for boosting your power, I'm going to put one video there where I'm going to share with you with a simple trick how you can end up with the best alliances in the late game.